Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever may be the case. Again, you know the name Cecil Young, coming to you live and in color here from Stratford, Connecticut, Soundview Media. Hope you tune into the Cecil Young Show, which is played every Monday through Sunday. All right, 7 days a week. You can download the Cecil Young Show. And I hope you do so. The reason why I hope you do so is because I've been putting out here documents showing these shows for the last 35 to 40 shows I've done over the last 2 years. You will see that basically every show that I've done is pretty well repeating the same situation pertaining to those who were involved in covering up for the city of Bridgeport and violating my civil rights, as well as those involved in covering up my civil rights by those state officials that were appointed by the governor as well as by the Senate approval. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be playing excerpts of much of the stuff I've been talking about, but I'm going to be stopping at different times to try to highlight and show the lies that these people who are involved in this cover-up played along with covering up for the city of Bridgeport in terms of my situation. And what really troubles me, again, I'm going to start off with the fact that here it is, a medical leave request from Jody Paul. I asked for a medical leave request. Okay, what? And he said there was no reason they're going to give it to me. They didn't give me no medical leave request. They didn't honor that. Grants personnel did the same thing. They denied me a medical leave request. For what? Why would you deny me a medical leave request when you know that I've been up under a lot of pressure? I've been up under a lot of stress in terms of me dealing with these situations that I've been dealing with. And for you to deny me my rights, okay, to have a time off from work knowing that I was very distressed over the fact that you terminated me unjustly, or were trying to terminate me, and then you finally been to terminate me even though you know I came to work, and I have a problem with that. So today I say to ladies and gentlemen, I have said in the past to you, yous are the jurors, and I want you to be the jurors to all of the evidence that I presented to you today. All of this started because I dared to want to speak out about these terminated dirt piles at the City Health Department on 752 East Main Street. As you know, that was the building that was tore down last month. Okay, it was a terminated building, as we said back in the days, which caused a lot of folks to come down with different illness, okay, that they probably would never recover from. Some of them, I understand, have passed away because of that sick building. I don't know for sure because I wasn't there to have the evidence to back all that up. But what I do have is evidence showing that these people violated my civil rights because I had enough nerve to want to speak out about these terminated dirt piles that were left there at the City Health Department building right next to the clinic. It cost the city $250,000 to remove these piles. And as a city employee with the city for 27 and a half years, I have a serious problem with these officials lying and perpetrating the kind of fraud they perpetrated to deny me my civil rights. And I'm saying to you, I'm not going to allow this to happen to me, sit back and not say nothing. So what I'm going to do is today I'm going to be giving you different excerpts of my past shows in the past, highlighting the fraud and the reason why they got away with this here. Here is the reason why they got away with it. You see here, Albert Murphy made $700. What did he make $700 for? All right? It was one hearing, whether or not the city was justifiable in terminating me. He said the city was justifiable in terminating me, which I will show how he lied and covered up for the city. Okay, I will show that Albert Murphy lied and covered up for the city, okay, in a little while. But my point is that here it is, he had what, 1, 2, 3, 4 hearings. For what? Either I was terminated or either I was voluntarily resigned. If I was terminated, it should have been a dead issue. The question is, how in the world did you have 4 hearings pertaining to my termination, okay, and with who? Who did you have those meetings with, Albert Murphy? Who did you have those meetings with? Mike Cohad? Yes, you had it with him. I see that. He got paid what? $225, $150, $150, $525. He got behind him, going along with the city, covering up for the city in terms of them covering up the unjust termination because of me complaining about these terminated dirt piles. I say shame on Mike Cohad, shame on Albert Murphy for him covering up for the city as well. Okay, and it troubles me now, Mike Cohad, who you see here, was a part of the termination board. All right, being a part of the termination board, you knew good and well that if I voluntarily resigned, then there shouldn't have been no 3 or 4 hearings pertaining to whether or not was I terminated or did I voluntarily resign. Now, he was a part of the termination board. Now, if he knew that, why didn't he stop this meeting from going forward? And the reason why he didn't stop from going forward was because he got paid. They committed fraud. Mike Cohad committed fraud. Here's evidence of that. Voluntarily resign from your position, you do not get benefits if you voluntarily resign from your position. I never voluntarily resigned from my position. He got paid, and I got played, and the taxpayers got played. Albert Murphy, Gerald Weiner, he likewise got what? $850 to do what? 4 or 5 hearings for what? Pertaining to what? My medical benefits? Mike Cohat, Gerald Weiner was a part of the medical board in terms of whether or not the city was justifiable in denying me my medical benefits. No, they were not justifiable in denying me my medical benefits. I had a right to receive my medical benefits because I filed a grievance. As long as you file a grievance within a timely fashion, you have a right to continue your medical benefits, which I did so. But for them to sit there and ignore that, and the reason why they ignored it was because they never thought that I would have the thought to think that I would request to see how many hearings they had and what was they getting paid for those hearings and what were those hearings about. Those hearings were supposed to be about me, per se, so-called voluntarily resign. If I voluntarily resigned, what in the world would you be having these other meetings with Gerald Weiner and Mike Cohat? Why would you have these meetings, Mike Cohat and Gerald Weiner? Why would you have meetings pertaining to if whether or not I voluntarily resigned? If I voluntarily resigned, that should have been it, okay? That should have been what they paid for, not being paid for did I voluntarily resign or not. You denied me my benefits for 2 years. For 2 years, unbeknown to me, unbeknown to my wife at the time. She was up under so much stress in terms of writing letters to the governor, to the mayor, to the U.S. Attorney's office, to everybody else, trying to get them to find out why they violating her husband's civil rights. And I said, yes, why? Why are they doing this to me? Okay? 2 years, Gerald Weiner, Mike Cohat knew good and well that terminated employees have a right to continue their medical benefits. He knew that because he'd been a part of the board for years. For 20 years, Mike Cohat had been a part of this labor board for 20 years. Gerald Weiner had been a part of this board for 20 years. They knew this, okay, that if you voluntarily resign, you do not get any benefits. You do not have any hearings. There's no need for no hearings. And what's so sad, okay, here it is 2 years later, they finally paid for it, unbeknown to me, okay? And could you reflect on that, my dear Esther? Here was the award that was given by the labor board. And what's so ironic about it is Gerald Weiner, Mike Cohat was a part of the same board who denied me for 2 years my benefits, have the audacity to put on this board that they approved it themselves freely, voluntarily, which is a damn lie. Okay, that was not the case. They committed fraud. Gerald Weiner, Mike Cohat committed fraud. Albert Murphy lied and violated my civil rights, and I'm proving that. I won this award, and I won it without the union because I fought for my own half, because I realized that the union threw me to the wolves back in the days when Kevin Ball was handling the case on behalf of the city, where he told me there was no need of me bringing the recorder. There was no need of me saying what I had to say in terms of Dr. Evans, because your case should be one slam dunk and all the above. It didn't happen that way. He left and went to California, and I found out 2 years later that he left and went to California, and I'm waiting to find out when they're going to make a decision on my case. Never did, so I contacted State Rep IL at the time to have him look into this, okay, because they looked into this. Gerald Weiner and them ruled against me, bam. The city was justifiable. Now here it is, I have found out in my records that they have paid this bill that they denied for 2 years, and the reason why it was for what? This is what you call a hate crime. They hated me that mad because I had the audacity to want to complain about the contaminated dirt piles. They take it out on me, okay, by violating my civil rights, when here it is, I had to take this matter on my own, okay, to the union, to the labor board, and get them to prove my benefits. What did they say?
This is dated on May 28th, 2008, by the Connecticut State Board of Mediation and Arbitration Labor Department. Page 4, at the bottom of page 4, the decision. The grievance is sustained and panel award is as follows. 1, the city shall activate coverage or pay for grievant and his dependents incurred dental bills during the period between March 20th, 2006 and September 20th, 2006, the relevant period. Number 2, all dental bills actually incurred by grievant and his dependents during the relevant period, March 20th, 2006 through September 20th, 2006, shall be paid by the city or its insurer as if the city continued grievance Cigna dental plan for the 6 months period. 3, the city shall also pay or authorize its insurer to cover grievant and his dependents' dental work, which would have been covered in the Cigna dental plan was kept in effect for the relevant period, March 20th, 2006 through September 20th, 2006, so long as the grievance dentist verifies in writing that the dental condition exists during the relevant period and said condition could have been corrected. Grievant was finally able to pay for the dental work. For example, dental insurance coverage was in effect for the relevant period, March 20th, 2006 through September 20th, 2006. Number 4, the city's obligation to provide payment for the aforementioned dental bills is limited to the city's portion of any claim that would have been paid if grievance were kept on the city's dental plan. Grievance shall be responsible to pay any out-of-pocket portion of a claim he would have been responsible for under the Cigna dental plan, including any employee deductible expense.
And you know what's so ironic, what's so hateful, is for them to deny me my medical benefits for 2 years. Gerald Wayne and Albert Murphy, all of the above, these commissioners have been involved in this agency for 20 years or more, and to deny me my benefits just because they had the gut to want to commit fraud against the taxpayers of the state of Connecticut, who hereby just said to them that they had no business denying me my benefits for 2 years. But they did anyway. And the question is, are they going to be made to pay back this money that they took, having hearings pertaining to my medical benefits, knowing good and well that voluntarily employees do not have a right to continue their medical benefits if they voluntarily resign? I didn't voluntarily resign. I was terminated. You knew I was terminated. You have the letter showing you that I was terminated. And they ignore that termination letter. When you see here that they terminated me on March 20th, saying because I have not returned to work after March 20th, my position is hereby classified as unauthorized, therefore my position with the city is hereby terminated immediately, effectively. For what? For not coming to work when there's proof that I came to work on March 16, 2006. And there's proof that I would be going for a colon exam on the 17th, okay? And to turn around here and to terminate me by saying that I did not show up at work, when you hear it is your secretary, my supervisor, Ether signed me in on that date, March 16, 2006 at 10:27, saying that I will be leaving before 12 to go for a colon exam, okay? Have that notation from her, my supervisor, that she took 3 different notes from 3 other persons that same day, on that same day, March 16th, and they lie and said that I didn't return to work, and knowing good and well up under the section, under the HIPAA law shows you, okay, that I have a right to continue my benefits as long as I file a grievance within a timely fashion, okay? And to turn around here and to say that my doctor's note was literally scraps of paper. Could you reflect on what they said about my doctor's note being literally scraps of paper?
Yes. In this case, the city was faced with a situation where an employee had been out of work for several weeks and attempted to justify his absence with what were literally scraps of paper. 2 of them were signed by a nurse. The one which was signed allegedly by a doctor did not contain any description of the grievance, ailment, or diagnosis of any kind.
But yet and still, you see here on the bulletin board, I'm showing that Dr. Walters was treating me for extreme anxiety and referred me to Dr. Wayne to continue my treatment for what I needed. This is what Dr. Walters said. He has under extreme anxiety that he was treating me for. And as you look at this letter here on the right, on the left side, go to the end, Ken. Right here, the letter here. All right, what did the letter say? All right,
I don't have
Come
that
on.
one, Cecil.
I'm just saying, but Dr. Walters had referred me to Dr. Wayne, okay, who was a clinical psychiatrist who had been treating me now for 20 years. I've been being treated for 20 years, but to have the labor board lie and call my doctor's note literally strips of paper. Did you finish that? Or did I cut you off?
No, it was done.
It was done. And here's what's so strange about it. They call it lily straps of paper. What I'm going to do is play for you, okay, excerpts of Dr. Evans and Jody Paul confirming the fact that on March 16, 2006, I came to work, okay? And for them to cover up for such these people to lie like this, and they know that they're lying, I say shame on the city of Bridgeport. You got the mic, got it? All right, now you just heard Dr. Evans, you just heard Jody Paul. Dr. Evans supervisor, confirming the fact that I was at work, telling him that I'll be leaving at 10:30, quarter to 12 to go get flowers for my wife. We plan on getting married that day on March 16, 2006, which we did get married on that day in height of the fact that I still got terminated on the 20th, which did get married. Now I'm gonna play Jody Paul. Now, if you remember, Dr. Evans signed the time card showing, had a supervisor sign my card confirming the fact that I was at work. She gave me the okay to come to work. Yet and still the labor board has lied and said that I came in with straps of paper. If I came in with straps of paper, they still allowed me to come into work, even though it wasn't straps of paper as I shown you. It was full doctor's notes, but they call it straps of paper. Nevertheless, he at least said I came to Dr. Evans with straps of paper. So at least they got something showing that I did come to work, but it wasn't straps of paper. It was a time card. It was a time card. It wasn't no straps of paper. It was a time card, okay? All right, and it's proof by the secretary. And to insult me doubly, to have Dr. Evans' nephew be hired in my slot after you fired me, you're gonna hire her nephew in my slot? I say shame on you. Shame on those that have been involved in this cover-up. Now I'm gonna play Jody Paul and what part she played. As Jody Paul, as you recall, was part of labor relations, okay? And also this is the part that she played. And they labor relations department supposed to sit down and talk to you. Never did, just fired me outright. Bam. Sorry about the growling a little bit. Now, did you just hear what Jody Paul said? Yes, I came in. Yes, I came in and left. And I came in for an hour and a half and I left. This is what troubles me. Why the city of Bridgeport? Why the mayor with the city of Bridgeport? Why would the governor and them cover up for these people committing this kind of crime to violate the kind of public trust that they're doing to me, what they're doing to me? It's a shame and a disgrace. You just heard Jody Paul say what she just said. Yes, I came in and I left. I thought I didn't come to work, okay? I thought I didn't come to work. How did I get a time card signed that I came to work? Yet until they said I didn't come to work. I got terminated for not coming to work. How could this happen and I can't get the mayor to sit down to request a meeting with the city council, with my council member, Ernest Newton and Anita? They asked for a meeting to meet with these officials, to discuss, to see if whether or not the city was justifiable in terminating me. Continue to listen to what Jody Paul is continuing to say. And you will likewise hear Mike Cohat and Gerald Weiner giving the same impression that, oh, Mr. Murphy said you voluntarily resigned. Murphy did not say I voluntarily resigned. And what adds double insult to injury is to have Mike Cohat say, well, Murphy said, Murphy said what Murphy said, but you know what the time card said, that I came to work, and you know that. Why didn't you tell Murphy? And then why did you vote along with Murphy saying that the city was justifiable in terminating me when you knew that that was not the case? So all of them need to be investigated, the state level and the city level. Let me continue to play the tape recorder of their actual voices of these people who literally said, I did not come to work. And that was Jody Paul, okay, Dr. Evans, all right? They were the ones who terminated me and gave the impression that they didn't know anything about me coming to work. Jody Paul, Dr. Evans, look, come on now. These are the two people you just got through hearing from, saying that I was terminated for not coming to work, yet and still there's proof that I did come to work. Please, somebody need to help me deal with this. And I'm saying to you, I know the reason why they went along with the city and with the state, because they feared the repercussions that they know that the city may have against them and the state will have against them if they go along with Cecil and their program. So please continue to listen to what I have to say.
I showed up on that day, on the 16th. Good morning, yeah. I showed up on the work.
stuff. Took away my sheriff work. Now, did you hear what? Did you did you hear what Mike Cohead just got through saying for not showing up? Come on, man. I mean, Mike Cohead, you know better than that. How can you daily say it for not showing up? How dare you say I did not show up at work? I mean, this is what irritates me. Mike Coheed said I did not show up. Isn't it the time card showing that I did show up at work? Come on, y'all. Stop treating me like a slave. I would deserve better than this. And to insult me again, like I said, to put her nephew in my position, to treat me like a senior citizen, I need to be home. Come on, treat me better than that. I deserve better than that. And I'm saying to whomever you may be, I know it's hard to want to come down on some of our black leaders, our so-called leaders of color and all that, and I understand that, but the bottom line is sometimes it has to be exposed as to why we're in the condition we're in is because of certain leaders that look like you and me get in bed with the Pharaoh and they forget where they come from and they end up doing the Pharaoh's bidding and damn us and they forget about us until election day come again. And I'm saying to you, to the governor, to the mayor, to the powers that be, before they ask you to vote for them, ask them what did they do about Cecil Young's case? When Cecil Young was hanging out all this information showing that he was unjustly terminated, he was unjustly violated, and no one responded to him other than the fact of saying that, hey, take it to court. Well, I took it to court. I took it to court with Attorney John Williams, paid him $10,000. I took it to court. I did what you said, do it. Take it to court. I took it to court. I pleaded with my attorney, John Williams, please, John Williams, show up in court. Because if you don't show up in court, they're going to throw my case out of court. And they threw it out of court. They threw it out of court. Because of Gerald Weiner and Mike Coheed, they got the kind of power. They say, hey, what the heck we care about Cecil? He's one client. We got to deal with Mike Coheed. We got to deal with Gerald Weiner down the road. Let Cecil be thrown to the wolves. Forget about him. He's no big deal. We can make it. Gerald Weiner will love us. Mike Coheed will love us because now we're preventing them from possibly being charged with a crime that may cause them to lose their law license, which may cause them to maybe go to jail, which will cause them to may have to pay back what they took unjustly because they got unjustly paid money that they shouldn't have got, and they should be made to pay that money back. Gerald Weiner and Mike Coheed know the law. They helped make this law. Mike Coheed is a part of the management team. Gerald Weiner is the chairman of the labor board. How in the world can they sit here and act like they don't know no better? And again, like I said, listen to the tape of Gerald Weiner and Mike Coheed and how they try to tap dance on me, the way they try to tap dance on me. And the Mike Coheed to say, well, Mr. Murphy said, well, Mr. Murphy, you agreed with him, Mike Coheed. You said that Mr. Mike Coheed, that Gerald Weiner Albert Murphy was justifiable in terminating me, which was a damn lie. Excuse me, language, I'm sorry. Well, you know what's so amazing about this thing too as well is that you had the federal court declared me totally disabled. And what troubles me is that for the city of Bridgeport to take me as an employee for 27 and a half years and to terminate me, okay, because of these terminated dirt piles, okay, and they use the excuse that my doctor's note was literally straps of paper, the labor board gave the impression, okay. Dr. Evans signed this paper, had her supervisor sign this paper agreeing me to come back to work. You heard her on tape saying that she's allowing me to come back to work. Yet and still, okay, they still fired me. And what troubles me is that for the Mayor Ganem to not want to sit down to discuss what Newton and Councilwoman Anita Martinez asked him to do, which is to respond to my unjust termination. Respond to my unjust termination, sit down and see if whether or not the city was justifiable in terminating me. That's what these two council persons asked for. And what I'm gonna do is today, I'm going down to the Connecticut Post to find out what is it gonna cost me to get an ad in the Connecticut Post newspaper to help expose the fact that what these people did to me, they should not be allowed to get away with it without being exposed. You know, I've been around a long time. You see me here, when I ran for mayor in 1975 or 77, I ran for mayor because I care about this city. I care about this community. And for the mayor, and for Newton and Councilman Anita Martinez, and for George Cruz to say, yes, we need to look into see if Cecil Young termination was justifiable or not, regardless whether that was 10 years ago or 20 years ago or a year ago, it don't matter. Wrong is wrong and right is right. Civil rights violation should not have a date on it. If you violated my civil rights and I can prove that, which I've proven it to you today over and over again, and I say to everyone who's seen this show, you can download the Cecil Young Show 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, around the clock. We can pull out your car phone, your high phone, whatever you may be, and download the Cecil Young Show, and you will see that everything I've been asking you, explaining to you, is the truth and nothing but the truth. You know, as I said a long time ago, the conspiracy that could backfire, yes, it could be you next. Yes, it could be you next. And again, why should you have to be possibly next for being set up for something that you had no rights being set up for, but they did it because they didn't like the idea that you had the right to want to speak out about you saying something, that you were told if you see something, say something. Well, I seen something, and I said something, and I said it loud and clear, and it caused me to lose my job. And I said I had no problem with that, losing my job. I've been fired from the city 2 times, been fired from the housing authority 2 times. Okay, behind making sure that the police are made to do what they need to be done in our neighborhoods. I care about my city. I care about our people. And I'm saying to anyone who know me will tell you in the beginning that Cecil Young is no joke. He believes in practicing what he preached, not just what he teach. And he's saying to you and to everyone else, okay, hey, help me get this word out that what they did to me was wrong, okay? You see, I've been involved in many things over the years. Okay, because I wanted to, not because I had to. And what's so sad is that the federal court declared me as of March 10th, 2010, that I was totally disabled for extreme anxiety because of my back problems. And what's so sad about it is that the 2 doctors that they didn't mention, which was Dr. Sue and Dr. Mascione, which were the ones who did the operation on my back, okay, which led to me having an operation that led to 7.5 hours on my back, and my back ain't never been right since then, okay? So I've been totally declared disabled because of what Dr. Wainick has been treating me for, extreme anxiety. And I looked at myself the other day on this program, and I said, hey, look at me, I'm just snatching, I'm just talking, I'm just going fast, and I'm saying, look at how they have me to a point where I'm basically out of control. I can see it in my own self, that as much as I try to take the medicine that they give me, I know that if I follow the prescription and take that medicine they were giving me, I would be like a zombie. So I'm not doing that. I never did that. I take as much as I can to keep me going, okay? But that's it. I'm not going to let them put me in no comatose state of mind where I'm just drowsy and drugged up all day and all night long because of what they did to me. No, I'm fighting back for my rights. No one has the right to violate the public's trust like they have done to me. You've seen I earned my stripes. I've earned my blessings. Everything I've ever done for this city and what I've done for this city for many years, I did because I wanted to, not because I had to. God has blessed me more than I could ever imagine, And yes, it may be a big thing to some people, it may be a little thing to little people, but it's a lot to me to know that in height of me being where I came from and what I had to work with, that the Lord has allowed me to achieve so much to a point where I can feel good about myself and knowing that my living in this world was not in vain. And for them to try to get me to, like I said before, to sign off on something that I shouldn't have to sign off on, I say shame on them. And like I said before, thank God for this Assistant Attorney General Mitchell who gave the auditor's report. who the auditors report showed that they violated the public trust by committing fraud. The auditors did their findings, and I'm saying that some Republican candidate that may be running for governor, you may want to ask Governor Lamont, why didn't he respond to any one of these matters that I brought up here today, that I've been bringing up for the last 4 to 5 years? Because he was governor back then, 4 years ago, when I brought him the same information. And I say to this day, Governor Lamont have not responded to me at all. And what add insult to injury, I thought the Human Rights Commission would give me some kind of backup behind him looking into these allegations. Come to find out that the Human Rights Commission was worse than what anybody else could ever be. The Human Rights Commission said that their so-called legal department said after 3 months and 7 days that, Cecil, we couldn't find that what you were talking about was irrelevant enough to pursue the governor's complaint. And the Mayor Ganem's complaint about if whether or not they violated your civil rights. Well, I say to Ray Charles and anyone else that may be blind, you can see. If you can see, you see that I've shown you overwhelming evidence in black and white that these people violated my rights, and they're getting away with it by using the impression that up under the Freedom of Information Act, even though you requested it, that you cannot get this information because it's confidential. Well, the question is, why do you encourage people to be a whistleblower if whistleblowers are going to be left out there to dry, to hang out there to dry, to be persecuted, like I've been persecuted? For what? For speaking truth to power? You said if you see something, say something. I seen something and I said something. And all I say to the powers to be is that I ask you to give me my meeting, Joe Ganem. Meet with me. Meet with me in honor what Ernest Newton and Anita Martinez asked you to do, which was to have your department heads sit down and see if whether or not the city was justifiable in terminating me. That's all I ask you to do, Mayor. I don't want you to do me no favor. I don't want the governor to do me no favor. I want them to say if whether or not this information that Cecil has been giving us for the last 3 years is true or not. It is the truth and nothing but the truth. And as I said before, if anything I said here I can't back up, like I said before, sue me. Sue me, Cecil Caesar Young, sue me. Like I said before, I'm not bragging, but my house is paid for. My house is worth at least $400,000 to $500,000. If you want to come and get it, come and get it. I'll tell you one thing, if you was accusing me of what I'm accusing you of, I would sue you. And I said to them, why won't they sue me? They won't sue me because they know good and well they ain't got nothing to sue me about, because they know good and well what I'm saying is the truth and nothing but the truth. And shame on them to keep on covering this up. Lamont, you're rich enough. Ain't you satisfied with what you got going on enough for you? Ganem, you're rich enough, satisfied enough with what you got going on for you? Come on, give me my day. Give me my justice. Give me what's been denied me in order for me to feel like I have a right to have what I have, because I earned what I got. Like I said before, I did what I did because I wanted to, not because I had to, and I have no problem doing it again. Being persecuted for standing up for those of them that can't stand up for themselves. I've been doing that all my life, and I have no problem in doing that. That's why I said before to Brian Lockhart, the Connecticut Post, the WICC, News 12, please, y'all help me get this matter exposed. Help me get this matter investigated so that those of them that were involved in violating my civil rights will be brought to justice. And if they can't be brought to justice for what they did to me, just think what you would be having to go through. They want to know why come I got the problem I got. They created the problem I got behind me caring enough to want to speak out about the injustice that they did to me. And I say to those of you who listen to this program to please call your friends, call your neighbor, tell them to ask Joe Ganem, why didn't they have a meeting about Cecil Young's unjust termination? The city council person, Nita Newton, requested a meeting. That's all they asked for, was a meeting to see if whether or not the city was justifiable in terminating Cecil Caesar Young. And I say yes, within the last 3 minutes that I got left, I want you to know that I mean what I'm saying, and I'm pleading with the powers to be. This ain't no joke, this is for real. What they did to me is for real. And what they did to me, they're getting away with it. And I'm saying to you, for 20 years I have not worked. Why I have not worked in 20 years? Because they attacked me. They assaulted me physically and psychologically. And I'm saying I'm tired of hell and I'm not going to take it no more. And I'm pleading with the powers that be to help me deal with this situation that need to be dealt with in order that it never happen again to anybody else. Again, like I said before, we're going to now turn you over to Minister Brown, who will take on the rest of the show, who will introduce another brother who's been involved in drugs back in the days, and he now has been recovering over those situations that he was dealing with. And Minister Brown's going to be dealing with that following this show. So thank you for coming in and tuning in for the Cecil Young Show. And don't forget again, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, around the clock, at any time, at any place, you can download the Cecil Young Show, and I say please do so.
On YouTube.
Either on YouTube. You can download either one of the two, on YouTube or down on Soundview Media in Stratford, Connecticut. Thank you much for listening to the Cecil Young Show, and again, have a good day. Peace.